So I play soccer at every single youth level possible, ranging from recreational all the way to MLS Next. And today we're going to be finding out the cost for each of these programs based on my experience and on Google. If you don't know me, my name is Brian LaFortune. I'm a 22-year-old soccer content creator, influencer, freestyler, inspiration, motivator, example to follow, icon, legend, symbol, role model, big name, megastar, superstar. The first club I ever played for was Benjamin Franklin Park Recreation Soccer. Back then, it was only about like $100 a month or something. I know this because I overheard my parents talking about it when I was really young, which back then, I think $100 low key might be like a lot. I'm not gonna hold you because that doesn't even account for inflation, but right now we're gonna find out how much it costs to play recreational soccer here in the US in Miami. Okay, so I chose Miami Breakers FC. It says that the regular fee for the recreation program for the 2025-2026 season is $1,210 plus the transaction fee. That's you know what, hold on, let me think. So from August to July, that's about 11 months. And if you do 1,210 divided by 11, that's about $110. So it's still pretty similar, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, like, it's been years, but the price is still the same kind of. And it looks like there's this youth program called North Miami Warriors that practices where I used to practice, and their program's completely free. Literally practice from Monday to Friday, and they have games on the weekend. But $110, I mean, I don't know. Now moving on for club. When I was young, I played for a team called Miami Shores FC all the way from 12 years old to maybe 14. We participated in many different tournaments. We traveled across Florida. We had trips outside of the state, but I never really was allowed to go. Not because of the club, just because of my Haitian parents. If I had to guess, I think it was about $250 a month, if not $300. So assuming it's a 9-month season and then each month it was about $300, that's about $2,700 without the travel fees, the uniforms, anything like that. But we're gonna find out the cost of it right now and see, because that was a while ago. So I couldn't find anything for Miami Shores, so I went to another club instead called Miami Strike Force. So for their competitive travel team, for U8 to U12, it's $1,900 for the season. And then for U13 to U19, it's $2,100 for the season. So that averages out to $210 a month for the U12s and then $230 a month for the older players. And then if they want to leave the team, they have to pay a $500 transfer fee. And then in addition to the registration fees by itself, there's also the tournament fees, which is $60 to $125. Referee fees, which is $50 to $75 per season per player. So at least you don't gotta do it like per game. That would be crazy. Then there's additional league participation, whatever that is, which is $60 to $80. I'd say the only good thing about this is that the uniform is included, but the club backpacks have to be purchased for $45. Like, if you got parents, bro, hug them, say I appreciate you, because that's crazy work. I'm getting a little bit sidetracked, but there's so many people I've met where they're like, yo, I love your videos. And I'm like, oh, what's up, man? Like, do you still play club? And they're like, nah, I used to, but got too expensive, bro. Like, that sucks. That's like the worst thing in the world, bro. But that was like one example of like a website that actually puts the prices of the program before you actually sign up. But yeah, shout out to Strikeforce. So next up, climbing up the pyramid, we're gonna be going toward the ECNL. So I played for Soccer Paradise, which was technically competitive, but ECNL at the same time. We were in a league with ECNL teams and we'd be participating in ECNL showcases too. And believe me, I'd say we'd be getting charged the same also. But the cost for me to play was about $2,500 for the entire season without the uniforms and then without a whole bunch of hidden fees. And that's without the hotels and the traveling we'd have to do too. So let's find out. It's still the same right now for other ECNL clubs. I'm gonna find one in Miami and we'll go from there. So never mind, I found an ECNL club called Jacksonville Sporting Club, and then the ECNL fee is $21.50. That's the registration fee. So for Phoenix Rising ECNL girls, it's $500 for the registration fee, $2,200 for the club fee, and then $500 for the performance fee. I don't know what a performance fee exactly is. And then it looks like the uniform is not included when it comes to this. And the cost of the uniform in total is about $289 to $306. And then there's also like a volunteer fee of $200 per player to cover a minimum of 4 hours. And then that's mandatory if you're part of the team. So shout out to Phoenix Rising girls. I mean, I hope it's not the same for the boys. Bro, I don't know what to say. Dang, bro. That's insane, bro. Yo, wow. And then I found like a Facebook threads that parents talk about the cost of these. Somebody said that it costs $4,500 to $5,000 a year, and that doesn't even include travel, hotels, and food. Somebody said that the ECNL fees for their U15 player is about $3,500, and that doesn't even include travel or high-level tournaments. And then that's about $7,000 to $9,000 total for everything. Somebody else said that they play in a big club in Dallas, and then in total it costs over $15,000 in a year. How can you spend $15,000 a year playing footy? There's like people on the thread saying like, don't even just add it up, just like swipe your card and call it a day. Crazy work. Anyways, let's move on to the one everyone's wondering about, MLS Next. So I ended up playing for Chargers MLS Next back in 2021, 2022. I know it's 2026, but pretty much the total cost for that, if I'm not mistaken, it was about $3,000, and then I was also on scholarship too. The biggest confusing thing about MLS Next is if it's free or if it's not. So I'm gonna explain this to the best of my ability with my knowledge too. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments or just DM me or something, I don't know. So an MLS Next program is free when it's connected to a first team that's either in the MLS or the USL Championship. So to give you a couple of examples, LAFC, free, LA Galaxy, free, New York City FC, free, Orlando City, free, Inter Miami, free, Houston Dynamo, free, Real Salt Lake, free, FC Dallas, free. But for the clubs that are fully independent and funded by themselves, not with another team, that is where the costs go to the players. So for example, Clearwater Chargers MLS Next, you have to pay. I would go and name a whole bunch of independent clubs, but I don't know them because they're not connected to larger teams. But now let's find out the cost of other MLS Next programs today. So for example, SC Wave, for their MLS Next program, it's about $3,750 for the registration fee. For Sporting City Soccer MLS Next, there's a $2,900 fee for registration and then a $350 acceptance fee. For Blackhawk MLS Next, it's about $3,000. It also says that the travel, uniforms, and any additional programming the team may choose is not included, and that families can expect to pay $800 to $2,500 extra in additional fees. So that's about travel, food, things like that. Now, this is not to say that a lot of MLS Next clubs do not offer any scholarships or financial aid. And this is also not to say that it's too expensive for you to play in general. This is just to show why Europe is way ahead of US when it comes to football, just because they allow a lot of talent to play for free. It's impossible for a lot of great players and great talents to continue playing because it's just way too expensive. But if this is a goal you want to achieve or a dream you have or something, bro, you really can't let that stop you. But yeah, that's how much it costs to play youth soccer in the US. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe and follow and all those fun stuff.